Okay, y'all. Get your head out of the bag. I'm going to put out some food. Kitty, kitty, kitty. Where's he go? Hello, Isabella Sutton. Hello, Isabella. Thank you for being here. I truly do appreciate it. Hope you're having a great evening, Isabella. Oh, Big Tom's here. We might not have a big audience this evening as far as cats showing up because we got Big Tom. Anyway, thank you for being here. There he is, the instigator. He's so naughty. Hey, Debbie. So nice to see you after I've had the most horrendous day you can imagine. Debbie, it's so nice to see a friend here. There's Kazera. Little Noah, Princess. There's Big Tom. He's visiting and annoying. Ethereal and Big Noah. Well, yes, it is. Thank you for being here. Someone called the police on me for a welfare check on my mother, Debbie. At 8 o'clock this morning, I had cops banging on my door wanting to know whether or not my mother was still alive. And I am not making that crap up. So, like, I don't have enough garbage going on. I'm having to deal with cops and they said, well, somebody said you're not feeding your cats and they're hungry. And he said, but I can see by all the empty cat food bags here, you're feeding your cats, but is your mother still alive? And I'm like, yes, she is. She's sleeping. And I'm like, I just actually woke up myself after my big 1 hours of sleep I get a night. And I literally mean an hour. And I said, if I wake her up, I will not, you know. And he's like, okay. So I had to get her dressed and take her to the sheriff's department and present her. Here's my mother, alive and well. Hey, Bruce. Thank you, Bruce. Thank you. I appreciate you being here. Hello, Sir Smokes a Lot. Thank you for being here. I truly do appreciate it. Yeah, Sir Smokes a Lot. Like, I don't have enough garbage in my life right now. I had a neighbor have a welfare check on me because they have not seen my mother in the front yard. Well, my mother never goes in the front yard, even when she was fine. She doesn't parade around in the front yard. Yes, Debbie. It's the woman who tried to badger me into selling her an acre of land. She's a neighbor who is adjacent to me, and she she works for the sheriff's department, okay? She is a dispatcher at the sheriff's department, and that's how she got a cop to come out here for no reason, because she is a dispatcher at the sheriff's department who has tried to bully us about 4 times into selling her a part of our property. Hey, Michelle, thank you for being here. I appreciate you all being here. I really appreciate it. So, yep, I had to get my mother bathed and dressed, and she's like, where are we going? What are we doing? Because she didn't understand what was going on. She don't understand it. I'm like, come on, Mama. And she's like, where are we going? I'm like, we're going to the sheriff's department. And I'm like, well, why are we going to the sheriff's department? Because I have to prove you're alive and you're well. But I'd already told the police officer that was here that she's in the end stages of dementia. So physically, she is fine. Yeah, Debbie, take the W away and put a B, and that would be more accurate. You know, Debbie. Jeez. There's Kazera. And she said she saw a cat in her yard looking for food, and she assumed that my cats were hungry. How the hell does she know it was my cat? I've got 3 Toms in my yard today, and I don't know where they came from. I know they're not mine. Hello, Alex. Hey, Alex, thank you for being here. I truly do appreciate it. Just because you see a random cat in your yard, you don't know who it belongs to. Cats are very mobile. I've had 3 times in my yard today. I did not call the police and said I had 3 random cats in my yard. Yes, Michelle, you are correct. Anyway, so my mother right now, she's enjoying a Ensure, I call it a milkshake. I'm like, look at this milkshake. And like a Pop-Tart or something like that, because the doctor said give her crap, so I'm giving her crap. And before I make her dinner. Yeah. So, yep, I called a couple of neighbors. I said, y'all think this was the one? And at first I asked the officer who was here, could you tell me who made this claim against me? He says, oh, well, okay, I'll call the office. And he said, they wish to remain anonymous. And I'm like, well, I thought by law I had to know who my accuser was. He says, I don't know, I'll check into it. So my neighbor down the road, her husband was a sheriff. And I said, I thought I had to, by law, know who made the call. By law, I have to be told that they couldn't remain anonymous. And then she said, yeah, they have to tell you by law. So I got my mother dressed, and we went to that sheriff's department, and I said, I want to know who made that call. I was pissed, y'all. Well, hello, M fam. Thank you for being here. Yep, I'm like, I want to know who made that call. And of course, she was working there. The woman who made the call was actually at service working at the sheriff's department at that time. As soon as I drove up, I saw her vehicle there. And I'm like, well, she is here, and I bet she's, I know she's here. And I talked to 2 different people around here who said, yeah, we know who made the call. And I'm like, so I'm talking to the officer. I need an officer. And it was just some guy making notes. And I'm like, no, I need an officer. I got to prove that my mother's okay. And all of a sudden she pops out from around the corner in front of the, they have these glass door windows that go back and forth, like at a doctor's office. And she swings back the window. It was me. So if she wants to remain anonymous, but when I go to the sheriff's office and I demand to know who made the call, she jumps out and says, it was me. Well, that's not remaining anonymous. That, she could have told the officer that. But you know what? I had to go up there. I had to show him my mother was alive and she's as well as she could be for an 82-year-old woman with the end stages of dementia. And I was riled up. My head felt like it was about to explode. My heart was pounding. My face was blood red. I was so pissed off. Hello, Rosemary. Thank you for being here, Rosemary. It's always nice to see you. So, she said, well, I was just trying to be helpful because I didn't see you. And, and I already thought it might have been because the car was gone for a couple of days this week. So I had my receipt for when I paid the mechanic, and I went in there. If you didn't see my car, here's my receipt from J&S Mechanics. And here's where I paid them, and here's the date on it. And that's why there was no car here, because my water pump went out and my serpentine belt broke. And that's why there was no car, but I was there. My mother was not left alone. And I said, just because you didn't see my car, and I had the receipt showing here's where I paid this mechanic. And everybody knows this mechanic. He's been there for a billion years. And I'm like, and here's the date. And here's the date on the credit card he ran. If you don't believe me, y'all can ask him. I said, because let me tell y'all, that's why my car was not there. But that doesn't mean I ran off and left my mother. Well, Michelle, I love you too. Thank you, Michelle. It was like, oh my God. Yeah, I had car trouble. It's 22 years old. What car at 22 years old is not going to have an issue from here to there? And she said, well, I haven't seen anybody in the yard. Well, maybe I spend my time in the field because my irises are blooming. She said, I'm just trying to be helpful. I'm like, yeah. You're trying to be helpful because you're trying to get me in trouble and have my, she wants to buy an acre of land from us. At this point in time, my mother has such severe dementia, she cannot sign legal papers. She cannot sign a legal paper to sell property. Someone with dementia cannot legally sell property because she is not in control of her faculties. So if she's trying to do some sort of thing to maneuver us into selling her that land, which she has bullied us for a couple of years, and she keeps threatening me. Well, I work at the sheriff's department. Every time I see her, she's like, I work at the sheriff's department. I work at what? But you're not a cop. You just answer the phone. You are not a cop. Oh, yeah, from what I've heard, Sir smokes a lot. Yeah. And you know what I told that cop? I said, you don't believe I feed my cats? I said, I have live streams where I feed my cats more than they can eat, like right here, extra food. I said, I live stream in the evenings, me feeding my cats. So if you don't think I'm not feeding my cats, I have proof on YouTube. I can show you my YouTube channel where I feed my cats. She said, well, the complaint isn't about your cats. Nobody said anything about your cats other than they saw a cat. Just because you saw a cat, maybe it was my cat, maybe it wasn't my cat. It could have been Big Tom over there. Big Tom goes everywhere. And but she saw a cat, which meant my mother was dead. Okay. You see a cat and you think your neighbor's dead. Okay. You have fun with that. Yes, exactly, Debbie. Rosemary, she has been harassing me for a couple of years, trying to harass us into selling her an acre of land at the very end of the property. She wants what the property that is adjacent to her property. And she says, well, if you have 10 acres and you sell us 1, you still have 9. So what difference does it make? What do you need with all that land? I'm like, because I go for walks out there just about every day. And I walk through those woods. And she's like, what, you go into the woods? And I'm like, yes, I do. I go into the woods. And she says, aren't you afraid of snakes? And I'm like, no, I'm not, because I never see snakes. I've seen maybe 3 poisonous snakes in 15 years. Yeah, Rosemary, she should mind her business. And she's like, I didn't mean anything by it. I was just trying to help. By saying I didn't feed my cats, by saying my mother was laying in there dead. Really? I don't know what she wants with it, Debbie. She's never made that clear. I think she doesn't want woods next to her property, so she wants to buy it so she can clear the woods away so she won't have woods next to her property. It's the only thing I can imagine that she wants. She doesn't want trees near her land because she's afraid of the woods. So if you don't like woods, don't move into the woods. It's kind of like if I didn't like big tall buildings, I shouldn't move to New York. Like if I go to New York and I'm like, oh my God, look at these tall buildings. Oh my God, well, don't buy a house there or an apartment or a condo, And yes, Debbie, exactly. This is the woods. This is a rural area. And before she bought the house, the woods have been there for at least since 1953. Because that's how long my grandparents owned this property, since 1953. Hello, Jess. Hey, Jess. Thank you for being here. I had a neighbor, Jess, call the cops in for a welfare check on my mother because she saw a cat in her yard, which meant my mother was dead. Well, thank you, Michelle. Thank you for saying that. And, if I wanted to sell the land the first time she asked us, we would have said, sure, it's yours. But we told her that we use that land, which I do. I go for walks. And she was shocked, like, you walk in the woods? And I'm like, yes, there's trails through those woods. What? There's trails in the woods? No. And I'm like, yes, my grandfather started making trails in the woods as soon as they moved here. And I said, I've been walking through these woods my entire life, and I'm not willing to give it up yet. It didn't make any sense either, Jess. If I wanted to sell the land, I'd put up a sign saying, land for sale. And it'd be gone in no time. Like the house across the road from me, which is over there, but you can't see it. The people who wanted to sell it, they put out a sign, house for sale, and it was a big house, a very expensive house. Sold it in about a week, literally. Anything that comes up for sale out here goes in about a week. Literally. Believe it or not, y'all, this is a prime place for people to want to live. I could put out a for sale sign out here, right out there somewhere, and in less than a week, I could sell it. The whole kit and caboodle. But, where am I going to go with my mother, I don't want to sell it. I enjoy my woods. I really enjoy walking in the woods. I know that sounds weird. I do love to go out there. It's a certain solitude and serenity and sanctuary about being out there. Hey, Charity. Hey, Charity, thank you for being here. Yes, happy Easter. Yeah, she's afraid of the woods, Jess. Afraid of the woods, but is moved to the woods. Like, there's town. She works in town. There's a lot of houses for sale in the town. She could have lived there, Oh, there's that Big Tom. There's Big Tom. He is here harassing everyone. And for all I know, she saw Big Tom. Because Big Tom gets around. Big Tom is mean. He charged me the other day. Like he was going to run and jump on me. Yeah, he did. He charged me. And I was going to take clothes out to put on the line. And I had some clothes over my arm. And I flung the clothes at him, like swung them, like, go away. Get away from me. But he was like hissing and running at me. Yeah, everyone, there are things I do not get by living in the woods. There's a whole host of things I do not get from living in the woods. But there's a whole nother host of things, like a lot of things I get that there's a certain serenity and solitude. I mean, how many cars do y'all see going by here, And this woman, by the time I went to the sheriff's office and she popped out from around the corner, like, It was me. I guess you didn't think I'd go to the sheriff's office. Rosemary, I don't want to do that because I, I don't want to poke the bear. I just want to be left alone. I don't want to progress any further. I just want to be left alone. And she said, well, I didn't know if you had anyone to check on you. And I named a very prominent person around here who lives down the road that way. Very prominent, whose husband was sheriff here for over 20 years. And, she's the one who took me to get groceries when the car was in the shop. She's the one who took me to pick up my car. And when I needed to go to town and sell jewelry so I could heat the house, she took me into Monroe. And she's a prominent member of this area. Everyone knows who she is. And I said, well, she's my friend, and she checks on me. Well, Jess, if she tells the wrong thing, it could start some sort of investigation because they don't really have much crime to investigate around here, Jess. So I could end up getting a ticket every time my wheels meet the road. It really is around here, don't poke the bear. It really is who you know and who you are. And if you agitate them, she can make 100 false claims against me. She could say, I heard her abusing her cats. And they could come and they could take my cats, I just want her to leave me alone. Here's Ethereal. He's here for his after-dinner snuggles. And I do hear someone firing a gun, unfortunately. Apparently around here you can fire a gun whenever you want to. And there's little Noah. Yeah. And, if she knows the law, she knows anybody with dementia can't sell property. Because my mother is not in her full faculty. And she cannot make the decision to sell property because she doesn't know what she's doing. So legally, my mother could not sell this even if someone offered $1 million. Hey, DL. Thank you for being here, DL. Well, thank you, Michelle. Thank you for saying that. I truly do appreciate it. Yeah, it's like I'm just going to be like, yep, let's move it along. The officer did leave believing that my mother was okay. He believed my story that she was sleeping, but that was not good enough for old TRANQUIL. I got my mother dressed up in some pretty pink clothes, and we went to the sheriff's office. I gave her cane, and I'm like, come on, woman. Hello, JJ Galaxy. Well, thank you for being here. Yeah, Debbie, everybody always tell me you reap what you sow and you get what's coming to you. But I've been waiting for a lot of people I know to get what's coming to them, and they just don't. Well, thank you, Michelle. I thank you for supporting me. And here's Ethereal. After his snuggies, he got the snuggies. Ooh, don't bump the phone. Yeah, you know what? Just because she saw a cat does not mean there's something wrong with my mother. He says, well, I haven't seen anybody outside. And I'm like, well, I'm outside all the time. Oh, he's rolling around. Look at him rolling. Look at rolling. Look at him. Hey there. Are we rolling? Are we hanging off now? Effie. Okay. Hey, Effie. Here he is. Hey, baby. Hey, Judy. Hey, Judy. Thank you for being here. Oh, don't roll off. Oh, and there he goes. Here's Kazera next to my lavender plant. Here's my... Hey, Kai. Yeah, it's Ladder Cat. Big Tom is here to see Ladder Cat. She just had a miscarriage maybe 2 weeks ago, and she's already in heat again that quickly. Oh, well, DL, I hope you post some video. Maybe it's just some shorts of your iris. I would love to see them. Mine are not very spectacular this year. They're doing what they are. They are what they are. And it's better than nothing. So I'm like, well, at least my multitude live streams will prove that I do feed the cats. Well, thank you, Judy. Oh, JJ Galaxy, thank you for saying that. Well, I would hope my channel does grow big, but it's a very small growing channel, and but that's okay. I'd rather have my loyal viewers than a whole bunch of just people who click on and subscribe. Thank you, Debbie. I still have more video of them. I got so busy today. It was a busy day. Well, thank you, Sir Smokes a lot. Yeah, I do have another one that I hybridized that opened this morning. And of course, I was going to go out there and make a video of it once it completely unfurled, but I was busy going to the sheriff's department. It's a two-tone. It's like a light lavender with a deep purpley bottom. Hey, Basenji, thank you for being here this evening. Thank all of you. I truly do appreciate it. No, Michelle, you did not talk too much on the phone. I needed someone to talk to, Michelle, and I appreciate having the opportunity to talk with someone because I was very lost and lonely. Yep, Judy, that's Kaizera, Miss Puffy Tail, or Ladder Cat. And everyone, I hope you'll have a nice Easter tomorrow and a great weekend. Hey, Kaka. Hey, Kay. I know everybody doesn't do something big for Easter, but let me tell you, I went to Walmart after I went to the sheriff's station. Incidentally, our sheriff's office is literally right next to Walmart. Like, you can throw a rock from the sheriff's office and hit Walmart. They're like right next to each other. And so I'm like, well, since I'm here, I'll run to Walmart and get a few things. Chaos. It was chaos. And I'm like, well, I said, Mama, it's Easter. Would you like some Easter candy? And she said, yes. and there was almost no Easter candy left in that store. It was just like it had just been like preyed upon. It was like slim pickings in the Easter candy department. Yeah. Oh, okay, Basenji. Oh, I hear meows behind me. Where? Where's Kai? Hey, Kai Kai. Hey, what you doing, Kai? Yeah, my plan was to have a nice, relaxing day at home today. And none of that worked out. It was a very, very stressful today. And I did manage to get some of those Reese's eggs. That I wanted to get some of those Cadbury eggs, but the Cadbury eggs were gone. There was nothing with Cadbury left in the store. But I got the Reese ones because my mother said, "Oh, I want some Easter candy." So I was going to stay home today, but after all of that, and I was already at the sheriff's office, I thought, well, I might as well go to Walmart. And it was chaos. Y'all don't want to know what's going on back here. Some cat activities not fit for YouTube. Y'all stop that. Get off her. Noties. No, don't bother her. No. Okay, I'll divert the camera. Cat activities. Oh, after today, I do need chocolate, y'all. Yeah, I saw the picture of your orchids, Jess. They are beautiful. Yeah, any garden does take a lot of time. Whatever you got going on, will gotta get the soil ready, and yeah, it is busy. Yes, Rosemary, and I'm about to stop that. Get off her. Like that's gonna work. Like he's not gonna. Yes, everyone, if you are not familiar with each other's channels, I say check out each other's channels. A lot of great people here. Just everyone go and subscribe to each, or I don't think I can legally say subscribe. But after a day of having to prove my mother was alive, I don't know what I can say and can't say. Yes, she's alive. She might not know what she's talking about anymore, but she's alive. Hello, Adam. Hey, Adam, thank you for being here. I truly do appreciate it after a very chaotic day. Michelle, I like really creamy chocolate. And nothing like, no like chocolate covered cherries or nothing like that. No, I like Reese's and Twix and things like that, but nothing chewy. I don't like any candy that is so chewy that I have to really work to eat it. Oh my God, the cat activities. Y'all behave. So naughty. Ugh. I've never tried an orchid, y'all, because I have heard Oh, good Lord. Because I've always heard how difficult it is to grow orchids. Uh, I can eat dark chocolate, but I prefer milk chocolate. Y'all don't get under my chair and do that. No. Good Lord. Yeah, I've always been afraid to buy um, an orchid because I'm like, oh, I just know I'd kill it. No, oh my God, all the cat activities going. Oh, all the growlings and the chasings and all the hissings. So many naughty kitties out here this evening. But look, I feed them more than they can eat. So if anyone wants to come on and say, she didn't feed her cats. Well, and that's what I told them. I got hundreds of live streams where I feed my cats. So y'all can actually know I feed my cats. So he said, well, the complaint wasn't about your cat. It was about your mother. No, the law officer who came out here was actually very nice. I cannot say anything against the law officer. He was very kind and respectful, and he very understanding of my situation dealing with someone with severe dementia. Oh yeah, Jess. The fleas, I am noticing the fleas are coming out. That's another reason I stopped at Walmart to get some flea drops and some flea pills, because all this moisture and heat is just, the fleas are starting to come out, and I'm trying to get on top of the situation. But it is that time of the year that this sort of thing, it just happens here in the South, and you live in the woods, and there's dogs and cats roaming around the yard. So everybody says, well, I keep my cat inside and it won't ever get fleas. That's not how it works here. I've had cats who've never touched the outside soil, but yet they still get fleas, because the fleas are tiny. If you've never seen a flea, they are microscopic, and they can come in on your shoes, your pants, through an open window, an open door. Yes, you have to do everything, but unfortunately, my yard is acres and acres and acres big. I mean, it's not like I have just a yard, you know. Yeah, Judy, they can come in on just about anything. They say they can get under the crack of your door. Well, Basenji, thank you for being here this evening. I truly do appreciate it. And I hope you have a great day and happy Easter. Hello, Betty. Hey, Betty, thank you for being here. So nice to see you. Happy Easter, Betty. I'm sure you're going to have a nice dinner. You're probably cooking something yummy and delicious. As you always do, because all your recipes look scrumptious. Oh. I'm not a great cook. I just do the best I can with what I have. Oh, that sounds good, Betty. I'm sure you have a lot of people coming over. You know, yeah, the best thing is not to have any carpet. I've noticed the getting rid of carpet has helped more than anything with the fleas, because and a lot of people don't understand that the more moisture is in the air, the more humidity you have, the more likely the fleas are going to hatch. It takes moisture for the eggs to hatch. Okay, well, just one person, Betty. Well, I hope y'all have a good time. Yeah, Rosemary, I found that getting rid of carpet helped a lot because they can get embedded in those fibers and just make a nest, you know. And I've heard people up north say, well, we never see fleas. My cats stay inside. And I'm like, well, that does not matter when you live in a high humidity area like here or Florida. You know, when you have a lot of heat and humidity. Now, I noticed when we had the severe drought the summer of 2023, and normally fleas are an issue, it was so hot and dry. There were no fleas. The heat was so extreme, and no rain for months, a couple of months. I didn't even see a mosquito. I didn't even see ants. I mean, we were like 107, 108 in the daytime, but it felt like 116, 17. I actually made a video about it. And I didn't see any insects of any kind. No butterflies, no wasps, no bees, nothing. It was just like the insects went somewhere to hide. And we were that way for almost the whole month of August, and we actually had red flag fire warnings here in Louisiana, like they have out in California or Oregon or Washington. And it was just like, but it wasn't just that it was hot, it was just sticky, but it was so hot that I didn't see insects, you know. And this watering hole would have birds all the way around it because their water sources were depleted, and I would come out here and I'd see this whole watering hole surrounded by birds. And that's one of the reasons I've kept water in this hole, because it does attract the birds and gives them a place to go. And but you know, I've just learned that fleas, especially if you have any outside animals running around, it's something you're going to have to deal with. Because before, where I lived a long time ago, I would see an occasional flea, some flea here or there. And then when I moved to where I lived for 28 years, my house, my neighbors had a few dogs running around, a couple of dogs. And that's when my flea population exploded. Whereas I lived before, I might see one here, one there. But because where I moved to, their dogs apparently had fleas. And even though my cats absolutely positively never set foot outside, because if they did, I wouldn't have cats. Because these dogs, you know, I don't need to tell you what these dogs would have done. But I had a couple of cats. They never ever went outside, but the fleas literally exploded. Like, I had to spray my house. The inside of the house, I had to, you know, take the cats to the vet to get dipped, and I just found it was a constant battle as long as I lived there. It really was, because they had dogs roaming around outside, and apparently, I don't know if they were treating their dogs or not. Rosemary says she feels itchy. Rosemary, is probably so dry. The atmosphere is so dry. You probably don't have any issues with fleas there, do you? I don't think the dry climates have the flea issues. Or probably not even the mosquito issues. Because right now I'm being attacked by mosquitoes. Yeah, Judy, you might not have enough humidity there, Judy. Oh, okay. All right. Uh, so much cat activity going on here. I'd show y'all the cats, but it'd have to be PG-13. there, they. No, I gotta raise up the camera. Naughties. There's our traffic jam, a car coming down the road. A traffic jam. Rosemary, somebody, I was talking to a nice, really an older lady. She looked like she's probably my mother's age, around 80, or at least way up there. But she's really sweet. And I was talking to her yesterday at Walmart, and she says if you go to the vet, and you tell them you have several that you need to do, that they will give you a better price. She said, give it a try. They did it for her. I don't know if it's true. And she's talking about our vet that we have here. That, you tell her I've got 3 to do, and or 4. I got some I can't even catch, so I don't know what to do about it. Look at her rolling around. And there's Big Tom saying, I see you. Look at Kaisera rolling like a nut. Yeah, they would give me a discount if I just explain to them the situation, and that she said they did it for her because she sort of takes in strays, and that they did it for her. And of course, they know me at the vet because I've been there once or twice, and that they helped her. So I'm hoping that they will do the same for me, or at least let me pay it off a little bit at a time. Right now, the whole car situation has put me in a horrible financial situation. I needed a lawnmower, which I was about to buy, but I had to have a water pump, which is more important than the lawnmower. So, yeah. Because, out here in the woods, if you don't have a car, too bad, so sad. Yeah, Rosemary, it really is. Like, I haven't had a bad enough week without being stranded out here in the woods and paying all that money to be towed. It was $100 to be towed, plus the cost of getting it fixed. Plus, I had to ask somebody to take me to town, and I hate to ask anybody to do anything for me. And I'm like, okay, we're all over that. Let's, I got things to do. Let's move on. And then all this crap that happened today, like, I did not need that. I did not need a cop knocking on my door and at 8 in the morning saying, I'm here for a welfare check on your mother. And I'm like, what the frack? Chelsea! Hey, Chelsea, thank you for being here. There's Kaisera in her chair, rolling. And there's Big Tom. Hey, Share Bear! Happy Easter, Share Bear! Happy Easter, everyone! I hope everyone has a great day. I have me some chocolate Reese's eggs that me and my mother are going to share. That will be our Christmas treat. Well, Raph. Hey, Raph. Thank you for being here. Jess, are you asking me about my mother, Jess? I live with my mother, Jess. My mother has end stage dementia and is the equivalent of about a 3 or 4 year old, or even younger. She needs to be watched almost all the time. Um, I have to bathe her, diaper her, um, feed her, the whole kit and caboodle. It's like I'm taking care of a small child. Oh, look at her rolling. She's like, "Hey, Big Tom." She says, "Look at me, how cute I am with my puffy tail, Big Tom." Yeah, Rosemary, taking care of a child, they're small, and to a certain extent, a child can understand what you're saying, but here lately I've just been keeping my mother in a nightgown because it's so hard for me to get pants on her. But today, to take her to the sheriff's office to prove her life, I did a proof of life. Here's my mother. Well, thank you, Jess. Yeah, there he is. He's a visiting Tom who's been aggravating here. And I had to put pants on her and a shirt and not just some big loose gown. And it's just like, no, don't move your arm around. Give me your arm. No, no, no. Just getting her in the bath is a chore. So I'm not getting in that bathtub. I won't do it. And I'm like, you have to. You can't go to the sheriff's office dirty. You cannot go. Why am I going to the sheriff's office? Because they think you're dead. Here's Big Tom. He is aggressive. He lunged at me the other day. Literally. He is not a nice kitty. Look at him hissing at me. Yes, Chelsea. Shadow's doing well. They've already eaten and dispersed. He is mean. He lunged at me, and I had some clothes on my arm, taking them out to the clothesline, and I had to fling clothes at him to keep him from attacking me. Look. He is not nice. Oh, he's doing that huffing thing. If y'all ever heard a cat go, no, Jess. She does not. Here's Kaizera, Miss Puffytail. Hey, Kai. Is that boy bot? Yes, Rosemary's chuffing, and that's what he's doing, and I'm backing up because he will lunge at me. He will lunge at me. No, he's wanting to have special time with Kaizera, DL. The cat in the chair. They're having special cat time. And I guess he thinks I'm going to interfere with cat time. And here's Ethereal. There's Ethy. Ethereal's here. There's Ethereal. Hey, dear. Yeah, he's waiting. I don't know if he's waiting for her to get out of the chair, what he's waiting on. But yeah, he's an aggressive cat. He's come. One time he jumped at me. I was walking out to the field, and he ran at me, and he jumped so high he attached at my waist high. He attached to me, and I had to I just screamed like a little girl. I'm like, oh my God! And I had to push him off of me. I guess so. DL, I think that's what he thinks I'm going to be blocking him, yeah. Rosemary, I don't even know who he belongs to. He only comes around here when there's a female in need of activities. Other than that, I don't see him. And, so he belongs, I don't even know where he comes from. Now, used to, he never came into my yard because I had my own big Tom. I had a great big tabby cat. And my big tabby cat, he was wild, I never was able to pet him, would keep him away. That cat there, Big Tom, would never come into the yard. He would only come as far as the field, back there where I sit and watch the birds. And that's as far as he could get because my Big Tom would say, this is my territory. So he was afraid to get too close up here. But my Big Tom disappeared last July. So now he feels free to come and go as he wants. And last year I was walking Miracle in the woods, and he was in the woods, and he charged me and Miracle. And Miracle was on his little harness, and we were walking around, and Miracle was sniffing, and we were having, all of a sudden I hear, meow, meow. I'm like, what? I hear another cat, meow, meow. And all of a sudden he sees Miracle, and he comes running towards Miracle. Let me tell you what, nobody messes with my Mimis. And I had I took my shirt off, because I was in the woods. Who's going to see me with my shirt off? And I'm oftentimes wearing very little clothes out in the field. But I take my shirt off and I wrap up Miracle's head. Because Miracle was about to get aggressive too. And I wrap up Miracle's head and I just take off running. So Miracle can't see what's going on. And I run deeper into the woods. Well, thank you for being here, DL. And I really do appreciate it. And I hope you have a happy Easter, DL. Jess, I do not know what kind of rules YouTube has about that sort of thing. But let me tell y'all what, I was just doing where you can scroll through shorts, and I saw they were somewhere in Africa, and they were harvesting, I guess it was a cow. I'd say harvesting, butchering. And they had the cow skinned and flattened out and harvesting it. And I know that is against YouTube regulations. You're never just to show the cutting up of an animal on YouTube. I know for a fact that I don't care if you harvest a deer, a duck, whatever, you are not. That's against YouTube regulations. They had a whole cow out there showing with an axe on the ground, chopping it up. And I'm like, well, guess YouTube doesn't notice that. Yeah, Adam, that's the whole thing about things about YouTube. I'm like, I thought that was wrong. And then I'll see a video and I'm like, well, okay. Thought it was against their regulations. And Jess, I was saying harvesting because I was trying to be nice. Where do we think the hamburgers and steaks come from? But I mean, this was like, it had the head, everything, and it had already been, the entrails were took out and it was splayed out on the ground, and they had an axe taking off the pieces, and I'm like, what have I just came across? And I'm like, I know that I've heard of people who have their channels taken down for showing these things, and hamburger trees. They say, Adam, I've always heard, if you can't handle how you get the meat, you shouldn't eat the meat. And I can't handle this is me personally, my own personal beliefs. I can't handle how they get the meat. So that's why I mostly eat fish. And because I can't, it does upset me. I don't want to see it. I don't want to think about it. And so I don't want to be one of those people like, ew, that's disgusting. But hey, let's go get a burger. Hey, Shadow's here. Somebody just asked about Shadow. There's Shadow. There she is. Hey, Shadow. Hey, dear. You want some more food? Huh? I got some food here, girl. Come here. Come here. Are you hungry? Are we hungry? Hmm? No? Okay, you don't like it? Yeah, a Big Tom is just going to sit there next to that chair uh, and wait for Kaisera to get down. Yeah, Jess, I have not had red meat since 1991. And I'll eat a little bit of chicken here and there because I started to lose some hair and I'm vain. And but mostly I eat some tuna, uh, salmon, something like that. Yeah, I have seen the behind the hidden camera. Somebody sneaks a hidden camera into a slaughterhouse. And if you see what goes on in a slaughterhouse, I just say it's pretty hard to eat it. My father actually owned a hog farm. Yeah. So, of course, he'd take them to a sale barn and sell them. But I know what the hog farm smelled like, y'all. He also owned a catfish farm. I lived at the catfish farm, and you know, the fish are not that smart, y'all. Yeah, people did eat it, Rosemary. They had to, but I don't. You know, eating it and putting out on YouTube is entertainment to me is different things. But to be fair, these people were in. I googled the channel. I did research on the channel. They were from like Guyana, or Ghana, or somewhere like that. And I mean, the whole thing was like laying in the dirt. So even if you wanted to eat it, it's laying in the dirt on the ground, and no refrigeration. And I'm like, seriously, it's like it's just laying out there in the open, not in a cool spot. I'm sure it was very warm there, and it just looked very unhygienic. I mean, very like, even if I liked eating cow, I would look at that and say, no, I don't think so, because it's their standards of the doing the whole meat harvesting thing was very different than our standards. Okay, very different. Um, yeah, for exactly, Rosemary. Not for entertainment. I don't know if they were meaning to be entertaining or if they were just featuring their day to day life. You know, I don't know if that's what they were doing. But even if I enjoyed meat, I would have not enjoyed that meat laying on the ground, being hacked at with flies and out in the heat. And of course, I am a picky eater, very picky. Look, boy, Big Tom is watching her. He is watching her. He's like waiting for her to get out of the chair. Maybe she knows he won't bother her while she's in the chair because she's grooming and he's watching. Hmm. He's keeping his eye on her. She's like, nope, I gotta clean my paws. Yeah, yeah, that's right, Jess. Probably not. Um, it's it is a dilemma. I want to. I did cut out all meat for a while, a long time, and then I did start to see my hair started thinning, and I'm like, well, maybe I do need more protein out of vanity because I have really, really long, long hair. Not like Rosemary. If y'all want to see some gorgeous hair, Rosemary here has a gorgeous head of hair, or she did last time I saw it. I mean, gorgeous, gorgeous hair on Rosemary there. Yeah, I starved myself. I went on a diet a couple of years ago and I just starved myself. And all of a sudden I'm like, handfuls of hair. And I'm like, what's going on with my hair? Yeah, oh, Rosemary has beautiful hair. And I hate that but mine is, I went back to eating a little bit of tuna and mixing some eggs in with my pasta. And, I have to hide the eggs. And yeah, Jess, I will have chicken maybe once or twice a week, but because I'm cooking it for my mother, because they said she definitely needs her protein because of uh they're like, so I'm like, I'm cooking it for her, and I'm like, well, there's the chicken and da da da. So a couple of times a week, I'll have some chicken and fish and yes, I do hear the frogs. Jess, you are correct. And then I started taking collagen, which I know collagen supplements come from animals, putting a collagen powder, mixing it with my food, and that helped. And I could even tell it was an improvement in my skin and my nails, and it's supposed to be good for your joints. Yeah, I know it comes from animals, but oh my God, look, y'all! I don't know if y'all can see it. Possum, possum. Let me turn on my light so y'all can see Mr. Possum here. And welcome, Mr. Possum. Hey, he's bald. Oh, Mr. Possum's got wounds all over his body. Oh, what happened to my little possum? He's half bald. And he's got giant wound on his head. Oh, did somebody hurt Mr. Possum? Or Miss Possum? And he's hydrating. See, all the animals come to the watering hole. Raccoons, and I've even seen deer tracks out here, y'all. He's very thirsty. It's a very thirsty possum. I don't know what's wrong with him, Rosemary. Oh, I got too close. But yeah, he had like a big sore on his head and one on his back, and he was practically bald. I don't know. He was a pretty big one though, y'all. That was a big possum. And apparently he was very thirsty to come out with me sitting here. I mean, that is very brave. Look, there's Big Tom. If you can see the glow, there's Big Tom. And once again, Big Tom is not my cat. And there's Kaisera in the chair. Big Tom is waiting for her to get down. Yeah, I still hear you walking around over there. the bathroom. Oh, there he is. He's sort of, you see that light color in the middle of the screen? It is coming back. It has to be really thirsty. There it is. Now, he's walking in the water now. He's in the water. Oh my God, look how close it is. Oh my God, y'all, look how close I am to a possum, y'all. Look at all the sores on it. It looks like it's been attacked. Can y'all see its sores? Well, I'm kind of nervous now, being this close to a wild animal. Hello there, possum. Yeah, oh, it looks like something. He's got hair on the back. But yeah, he's got like scratch marks, like it's definitely been attacked. And look how it must be so hungry to come out. I mean, it's just a few feet away from me, y'all. Uh-oh, there's a notification. Yeah, Jess, it's very hungry. Yeah, it's got wounds all over. Especially one big on the head right there. Anyway, I just got the notification that my battery is about to die. So I'm going to go in and make some dinner for me and my mother. And try to get away from this possum without startling it too much. No, back up, possum. No. Anyway, goodbye, everybody. Thank you for being here. I truly do appreciate it. Y'all have made a really horrible day seem much better by spending time with all of you. Yes, it was a crappy day, but you've all made it better. Well, hey, Cheryl. Here's a possum to look at, Cheryl. And happy Easter, everyone. I hope you all have a great holiday. And I hope to see y'all all again soon. And watch my last video of Miracle on the Bench. It was really cute. And bye, everybody. Love all y'all. Thanks for being here. And now I'm afraid to move because I'm going to go upset a possum. Let me back up. Okay, I'm successfully away from the possum. Okay. I'm not good with being very close to a wild animal. Good night, everybody. Have a great evening.